Today's horoscope from Astro Academy, Cancer, September 29, 2022. Today is powerful for bonding through supportive conversations and for productive think sessions. You might find out some beneficial information. Keep your mind peaceful now, and you can learn and gain insights into recent events or problems. In fact, today is better for coming to peace with yourself and recent events than for revving yourself up for new activities. As well, mulling over the things you want to improve is highly favored. Interests and direction can shift after tomorrow's new moon, and what you start today may not come to pass or hold weight. Instead, today is good for reflection or tying up loose ends. Reflecting upon the progress you've made with family and with domestic matters in general over the past few weeks is especially appropriate as the moon aligns with Mercury in your sector of home and family. It's a great ideas day, particularly about your personal life and long-term plans to boost your feelings of security or family. Pleasant conversations that soothe and help you center yourself can figure strongly. The last few days may have had you buzzing with anticipation at work. Luckily, today calls for a small break from the astrological, and even professional, frenzy. The moon is in peaceful Libra, which is calling your attention to home and family. You may need to rest from work or find that your home life is taking priority over work today. If possible, you may even be able to work from home or take a day off to gather your thoughts. If not, consider keeping to yourself today to mull over your recent opportunities at work. After a friendly aspect to Saturn in your financial sector yesterday, the moon will move into a friendly aspect to Jupiter there today. This comes on the heels of Mercury's same friendly aspect to the planet of luck and expansion earlier in the week, adding to a growing sense of financial confidence and especially when it comes to the future. For now, trust your gut without overthinking things. The planetary alignment today makes you feel ever ready to take on the next phase of your personal development. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever development you are focused on right now, today's aspect will help you take the lead. Yoga is a practice that combines all of those areas into one, and when practiced on a daily basis, yoga can help you make the most of this transit. You have about 10 days left, so don't miss out. Prepare yourself with water intake before you practice, while Venus will be doing her best to attract opportunities and to make her last full day in your work sector as opportune and lucrative as possible. She is also focused on her legacy. This comes just as the moon and Mercury are not only working to put the focus on home and family matters but are actively exposing any work-life balance issues. Venus has no intention to make today any busier than it needs to be, but the planets that will arrive over the coming weeks won't share that sentiment. With the moon returning to your romantic sector to begin the lead up to a new moon and Venus, the planet of love, returning to your relationship sector tomorrow, this is the start of a special few days on both fronts. These will also be gateway days, opening up to some of the most important romantic weeks of the year and the start of a relationship boost that will continue into 2022. The moon is sitting alongside savvy Mercury via your emotionally driven fourth house of home, family, and intuitive knowledge, bringing clarity to themes surrounding your innermost feelings and emotional foundations. Single? Luna's sweet sextile to Venus via your responsible sixth house of due diligence invites you to integrate your inner knowing with your day-to-day lifestyle, especially when it comes to your love life. Your intuition is on point, which is typical of you during a water season. On another note, the moon will simultaneously clash with smoldering Pluto via your committed seventh house of one-on-one connections, which serves as a reminder to prioritize your sense of security. You have a wide-ranging palate and are often the person at the table who will order something new or unusual. This palate is connected to a willingness to explore the physical and sensual areas of life. It's important to be open-minded about physical pleasure, though some do not give themselves permission to do so from a young age and become blocked. The body can store blocked energy in profoundly secretive ways. Experiment with various holistic massage practices if this interests you. Alexander technique is 1. Our eyes in the sky. Today has an eclectic energy that could feel both scattered and psychologically challenging at times. This morning's moon in Libra makes it a little easier for all of us to process. When Pluto squares the moon, those in relationships take a closer look at their commitments. This is going to mark a time where your mind is influenced by your own desires. Over the weeks ahead, you might wish for something to happen to the point of obsession. Remember that everyone is going to be feeling these same vibes, so you aren't alone. This energy can bring gains and losses. You might feel like you're unable to take any action at all, like you're stuck in place. It could seem as though your mind is a prison, but it's up to you to decide how to navigate through this minor storm. The reality is that as long as you have curiosity and creativity, you're unstoppable. It's only when you are hard on yourself that it feels like you're stuck in an emotional swamp. On the upside, this energy winds down when the moon enters Scorpio later in the day. In the morning, retrograde Mercury in Virgo trines Pluto in Capricorn, the second of 3 trines between these two planets. The first occurred on August 22nd, so look back to this date to make personal connections. This influence grants us a penetrative mind. We detect the hidden rationale subtly underpinning and guiding our interactions. We can even investigate occult principles or further define our astrological awareness. However, because Mercury is retrograde, it might be hard to communicate everything that is going on in our heads. While we're adept at working and reworking ideas at a conceptual level, something is bound to become lost in translation if we attempt to explain ourselves. This is perhaps the true intent of this transit, to determine when it is wise to reveal, versus when it is wise to keep silent. The final trine in this series, with Mercury in direct motion, will occur on October 6th. This week may bring some strange feelings from your past, or perhaps past lives. You could feel somehow boxed in or forced toward a certain conclusion. Aspects affecting your employment sector mean that you need to focus more attention here to make your work meaningful and lucrative. Mid-morning, the Libra moon squares off with Pluto, provoking power struggles. Perhaps we want to share a secret, but it would be purely for our own gain. Our inclination to form relationships based on gossip could be to curry favor or gain a tactical advantage. What we're really battling with now is our own perceived lack of agency. Once we become aware that fear is steering our choices, we can start to take back our power. The moon enters its void of course following this aspect's perfection, suggesting we use this time for introspection and keeping our mouths shut.